What's going on, guys? It's that time of year again. The 2024 NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are about to start in like 24 hours. So, as is tradition, I give you guys my playoff predictions and compare that to NHL 24 playoff sim. And real quick, guys, before I make my picks, if you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this video for the Stanley Cup playoffs starting, I'd really appreciate it. Starting off with the first matchup, we got the Dallas Stars versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Obviously, even though Vegas are wildcard 2, I think like they had just as good a chance to win the Stanley Cup as anybody. Obviously, defending Stanley Cup champions. Having said that, I really like the Dallas Stars this year. I mentioned in another video, I just think they have so many good young players on that team. Wyatt Johnston, Thomas Harley. You could even count Jake Andre for that matter. Like, he's really not that old. And now you look at the breakdown here, guys. You'll see Dallas Stars, I think, lead every single category. One thing that's kind of surprising, I didn't realize Marchessault led the team in scoring with only 69 points. Also kind of funny, like, they might trade away their, Conn Smythe Trophy winner / leading scorer this year. But like I said, I just think Dallas Stars are the much better, more well-rounded team. Obviously, getting back Mark Stone's huge for the Vegas Golden Knights, but I'm still going with the Dallas Stars. Next up here, in my personal opinion, is probably going to be the toughest matchup of the first round. Winnipeg Jets versus the Colorado Avalanche. I feel like, obviously, Colorado has the higher-powered offense with McKinnon. With 138 points this year, might win the Hart Trophy. Also, they got Rantanen in there. Pretty good depth. I think you could even argue maybe Jets have more depth, but obviously the Avs have more high-end players. Defensively, Avs have McCarr. The Jets are pretty solid though. Like, they had the lowest goals against this year. Hellebuck won the William Jennings. Definitely, they had the goalie lead as well. So this one is really tough. Like, as I'm kind of looking at the stats here, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. I think even though the Jets are the higher seed, they're actually the underdog in this. And honestly, I think I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets. For some reason, I feel like Hellebuck's going to go God mode here and actually steal them a series. Next up here, you guys, you got the Vancouver Canucks versus the Nashville Predators. I know Nashville's been one of the hottest teams in the NHL like the past month or so, but I think the Canucks are just too good. They showed that this year. I know they definitely have slowed down since the beginning, but I like the fact they have Quinn Hughes. I like the fact they have Pettersson. I feel like the goalies are probably an even matchup between Demko and Saros. So again, just going to go with the team that I think has a bit more star power, a bit more depth. That's the Vancouver Canucks. And then finally here, guys, in the West, you got the Edmonton Oilers versus the LA Kings. Everyone knows I'm a big McDavid fan, big Draisaitl fan. I think, the Oilers, this might be their year. I think I picked them to win the Stanley Cup like the past 4 years straight, but I mean, McDavid, of course, just unreal playmaker this year. Draisaitl's getting it done. Hyman's scoring. Bouchard step up on D. Skinner's giving them decent goaltending. The Kings, kind of been average here the last month or two. I think Oilers beat the Kings in the first round the last 2 years in a row. I think they make it 3 this season. Looks like for the tiebreaker, you got to go games. Honestly, I think Dallas-Vegas is going to be a very close series. I can see that going 7. I think Jets go 7. I think Canucks probably get it done in 5. And I think the Oilers-Kings, that one's probably 5 as well. So 7-7, 5-5. We'll see what happens there. Moving on now, guys, to the Eastern Conference. You got the Florida Panthers with the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is another pretty tough one to guess. Obviously, Kucherov, our Rush Trophy winner this year. Another guy who could win that Hart Trophy. Sam Reinhart playing unreal. I mean, definitely Panthers have more depth. They added more at the deadline, I think. Goaltending-wise, I do like Vasilevsky more than Bobrovsky, but Bobrovsky can still go series, I think, as well if he, does get hot. Defensively, like Hedman the most. Sergachev being out for the Lightning is a big loss. Panthers, if Ekblad's going to be healthy, I'm honestly not sure. I think their defense does have the edge. Also, too, just the way Panthers play, they definitely play like the playoff hockey. They're always getting away with, minor penalties, things like that, get under your opponent's skin. So I think this is going to be a good series. I could see that going 7, but I think I'm going to take the defending Eastern Conference champions. Next year, guys, we got the Boston Bruins with the Toronto Maple Leafs. A classic Original 6 matchup here. I got Matthews versus Pastrnak. I think offensively, you got to give it to the Leafs. Defensively, you got to go to the Bruins. And then goaltending, you also got to go to the Bruins. They probably ride Swayman. So basically, can the Leafs, core 4 there, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and Tavares, get it done against the Bruins defense, McAvoy, as well as Swayman in net. I think it's going to be a good series. I think it's another one that could go 7, but I'm going to take the Maple Leafs to get out of the first round once again. Next year, guys, got the Rangers versus the Capitals. I'm not going to take too long on this one. Capitals, I think, the worst plus-minus of any team to make the playoffs. Probably one of the worst plus-minuses of any team to make the playoffs ever. So I think the Rangers easily win this one. They have better offense, better defense, better goaltending. I'm thinking it's going to be a sweep for the Rangers, but you never know. Maybe the Capitals will steal a game. And then finally here, guys, you got the Hurricanes versus the Islanders. This one should be a little bit closer, but still, I think for me, the Hurricanes might be the best team in the East. I really like their offensive depth. They got good star players. Might have the best, top 6D in the league. You got Anderson playing well. Kochkov's playing well behind him. I know the Islanders have Sorokin who could steal a series, but it's kind of been, meh as of late. So for me, pretty easy killing to pick. Like I said, Florida-Tampa Bay I think is going to be close. Is it going to go 7? It might. I think Tampa Bay is going to play them tough. That could be a good series. Maybe Florida gets it done in 6, though. I think Toronto-Boston probably goes 7 as usual. Like I said, I think Rangers sweep that one, and then I think Carolina Islanders probably get 1 game, so 6-7, 4-5. moving on now, guys, to the second round. You got the Stars versus the Jets. So you look at this matchup here. It looks like the Stars have the edge in every single category except for goals against. I kind of hate how it actually shows the goals against as being like better if it's higher when it should be the other way around. So I think here, Hellebuck's going to do what he can, but the Stars team, like I said, I think is just too good, and they get by the Jets. And then here you actually got a Canadian matchup, Canucks versus the Oilers in the second round. That'd be very fun to watch. I think this will probably be a pretty high-scoring affair. Edmonton versus Vancouver. Personally, I like to bet on McDavid. I like to bet on the Superstars. I just feel like he's eventually going to win Stanley Cup, and I think I'm going to take them there over the Canucks. They've also got a bit more playoff experience the last couple of years. Next year, guys, you got the Florida Panthers with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, like I said, I like Florida's game in the playoffs. The Maple Leafs, can they get it done? They're relying on Samsonov in net, which I think, is a big ask. They run into Florida here. Like I said, they're built for these playoffs. I personally think it'll be a good series, but I don't see Toronto getting it done. We have the Panthers moving on to the conference final 2 years in a row. And then over here in the East, you got the Rangers and the Hurricanes. I feel like they played against each other last year in the second round. Maybe I'm misremembering, but this should be a good series for sure. I could definitely see this going 7. Two pretty stacked teams, but like I said, I really like Carolina this year. I just think they have the star power. They added Gensel, which was huge. They have tons of depth, forward and defense, even goaltending. They have Kochka behind Anderson. If Anderson falters, I think the Hurricanes are the team to beat right now in the East. So we got Dallas, Edmonton, Florida, Carolina in our conference final matchups. Dallas, Edmonton, that'll be a good one for sure. I see, these both could definitely go 7 games. Like I said, this one, I don't know. I really like Dallas this year. I also like McDavid to win a Stanley Cup, so it's hard to bet against him. Man, this is a tough one. McDavid makes it to the Western Conference Final. Is Dallas too much for the Oilers? I think they might be. Like I said, I picked McDavid to win the Stanley Cup the last 4 years in a row. I'm picking Dallas, and watch, this is the year McDavid's going to win the Cup. So we got Dallas there. And then Eastern Conference Final, it's Florida, Carolina. Like I've been saying, this one, you can't even see the difference. It's exactly red. I like Carolina a lot. I think Florida does play good playoff hockey, but I think Carolina has more depth. I think they have the same amount of star players. I like their defense so much more. I got Carolina coming out of the East. And then finally here, selecting our Stanley Cup champion for 2024. Man, both these teams I think are just stacked top to bottom. But having said that, man, I'm trying to think. Goaltending, you got to give it to Dallas probably, depending. Defensively, I think, I like Carolina's core better. You could say Heiskanen is the best defenseman, though, of the two teams. And then offensively, they both got a ton of pieces. I believe Carolina's made the Eastern Conference Final the past 3 years straight and got swept every single time. I feel like they finally break that curse, and this year they win the Stanley Cup. So there you have it, guys. Carolina over Dallas in the 2024 Stanley Cup Final. Those are my predictions for the 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs. Now we're actually going to simulate the playoffs in NHL 24 using the most recent roster, which just came out yesterday. As you guys can see, I already set up all the playoff matchups to be authentic. And I think one really important thing for the sim as well is to have the attribute effects set to 9 out of 10. That way you get the most realistic result. And now just into the first 4 games, guys, as you can see, the Dallas Stars actually swept the Vegas Golden Knights, which is pretty crazy. Mark Stone's back healthy. That's honestly nuts to see. Avalanche up 3-1 on the Jets. Canucks and Preds are tied. Kings are beating the Oilers 3-1. You also get the Lightning beating the Panthers 3-1. Same with the Leafs over the Bruins. Rangers over the Caps. And then the Islanders and the Canes there are tied. So most of these series are honestly kind of looking like blowouts right now. And now check this out, guys. So the Avs beat the Jets 4-1. The Preds actually upset the Canucks there, beating them 4-2. Oilers fought back to tie the series up at 3. Lightning there ended up being the Panthers. Same with the Leafs over the Bruins, Rangers over the Capitals. Hurricanes and Islanders are actually tied 3-3. You can see Kopitar leading playoff scoring 10.6 games, which is actually kind of like a lower scoring playoff. I think it's similar to scoring medium, shot frequency at high. So send to the next game. The Kings end up holding on. They beat the Oilers there in 7, so I would say that's another big upset. And then the Canes do hold on, beating the Islanders in 7. So in the second round here, guys, you got the Stars and the Avs, Kings and Preds, Leafs and Lightning, and the Rangers and the Canes. Now, of course, I picked the Stars and the Hurricanes to meet in the Stanley Cup Final, which is still possible in the sim. And now this is kind of crazy, guys. After 4 games, the Dallas Stars sweep the Avalanche. They have yet to lose a game in the playoffs. The Kings and the Predators are tied 2 apiece. The Leafs sweep the Lightning, and then the Rangers and the Hurricanes are also tied 2 apiece. So you can see Matthews there just popping off 16 points. Somehow more of a playmaker all of a sudden. 12 assists there, 4 goals. And now the last game in the second round is Kings versus Preds, tied up 3 apiece. And you got the Preds moving on. And Kopitar finished with 19 points in 14 games. Unfortunately, was not enough. So, conference final matchups here, guys. You got the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. I feel like that'd be like a country matchup. And then you got the Rangers versus the Leafs. Original 6 matchup over there in the East. So, pretty cool. We'll see what happens here. Again, the Stars have yet to lose a game, which is crazy. And as I say that, the Stars lose game 1 of the conference finals with the Preds. Now, check this out, guys. Through 4 games, both series are tied 2 apiece. Austin Matthews up to 22 points in 13 games. Absolutely crushing it right now. And the conference final matchups just ended, guys. Dallas beat the Preds in 6, and the Rangers beat the Leafs in 6. So we have a Dallas-New York Stanley Cup final. This would definitely be a nice one. Matthews there is currently the playoff scoring leader. I'm sure Ranger or Star will pass him here. So we'll sim the Stanley Cup final here game by game and see just what happens. Game 1 here, this is going to be in Dallas. Zibanejad gets the first goal, VC with the second, and they end up actually winning that 3-1. Sagan, only goal scorer for the Stars. Game number 2 here, guys, of course, still in Dallas. Rangers are up 4-0. Oh my goodness, just dominating. Zibanejad looking for the hat trick. Heisen gets one, but not going to be enough. No handy for Zibanejad. But a big 6-3 win by the Rangers to go up 2-0, heading home to New York. Panarin there's got 23 points in 19 games. This is crazy. Could they sweep the Stars in the Stanley Cup final? Game 3, Stars open up the scoring. The captain, Jamie Benn, 4-1 now. Okay, so Stars, they're not going to go down that easy. And yeah, they actually pull back there, making it a 2-1 series. Game number 4 here, guys. First period, 1-1, Marchment, Miller. Second period here, Benn gets the lead. And then Stars hold on. They actually tie up the series 2-2. No teams won at home yet. Very interesting. Will the Stars kind of break that here in Game 5, trying to get a lead in this Stanley Cup final? Tanev steal, make it 2-0. And 2-1, Rempe of all people. 3-2, the Stars hold on. Pavelski there gets the game winner. So all the Stars have to do now is win one of these next 2 games, and they're going to be Stanley Cup champions. Panarin, though, still the playoff scoring leader, a little bit over a point per game. Let's see what happens here, guys. And we got 2-1 lead for the Rangers in Game 6. Now it is 5-1. I think we can safely sim the last period. Yeah, Rangers win that 6-2. So this is what you play for. Game 7, Stanley Cup final. You guys can see the records there. Rangers 15-8, Stars are 15-5. All that matters is this next game in Texas. And the Rangers are up 3-1. Rempe again with the playoff goal. 4-3. Stars are fighting back. Okay, we'll resume this third and final period. See what happens. Shots were tied exactly there, 29 apiece. I think Stars just got a couple. Sagan ties the game. Gaudreau, though, gives the Rangers the lead. Halfway through the third, Stars big power play here. Rangers, though, able to kill it off. The Rangers have a power play of their own now. And Kreider, that might be it. Lafreniere makes it 7-4. I think the Rangers here, Suter 7-5, but yeah, I think it's going to be too little too late. Minute left to go. New York Rangers are going to be Stanley Cup champions. That's kind of crazy, guys. Look at the point leaders. Matthews is still in third. Didn't even make the Stanley Cup final. 12 seconds to go here. The Stars have their goalie pulled. Thomas Harley makes it 7-6 with 10 seconds left. It would be a miracle if they could somehow pull this off. From the point, high blocker shot on Shesterkin. Actually bounces off the bottom of his blocker and in. He's got to have that one. So here you go, guys. 10 seconds left. If I'm the Stars, you just pull the goal immediately. Who cares if you win the draw? And they actually do. Pavelski's on it. No way. Still has it here. There's no way. Harley? Oh, that was like a floater. Imagine it somehow trickled in, but no. Rangers there hold on to become Stanley Cup champions. I believe this is their first cup since 1994. I want to say was the last one they won. 93-94. I think Rangers were 94, the year I was born. So there you have it. Definitely have the team to do it, I think. A lot of depth on that team. Of course, they got the Stars, Panarin, Fox, Shesterkin, and Net. They got the depth as well. For me, I just think, there are other teams I liked on the East better, which is why I predicted the Hurricanes coming out of there and actually winning the Stanley Cup. And you got Panarin here taking on the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. I see there they still have him rocking a whole head of hair opposed to the shaved head. And next year, you guys got the captain, Jacob Trouba, skating out here to lift the Stanley Cup. Matthew Rempe, first player to get handed the Stanley Cup. How funny would that be? And now next year, you guys got the team pick. Trouba in the middle there. I think that's supposed to be Kreider to his right. Lafreniere. I mean, you can see Roslovich there. Some decent game faces, but there you have it, guys. EA predicts Rangers to win the 2024 Stanley Cup. Let me know in the comment section, do you guys think you can win the Stanley Cup? Very curious to see all your guys' predictions. You can tweet me your brackets, all that stuff. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, leave that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Have a nice day. Goodbye.